Getting on Forbes is one thing, but retaining your position 10 years in a row is not an easy feat, trust me. But that has become the tale of Africa's richest man. Not only is he the richest man in Africa, he is acclaimed to being the richest black man in the world. But this constantly begs the question that how does one man consecutively top a continental list of billionaires? Well, in this episode, we will take a quick dive into the rise and subsequent monopolizing of the African markets by billionaire Aliko Dangote. Welcome to Galactico. But just before we dive in, we would love you to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you never miss an episode. You can also take it a step further by giving this video a thumbs up, It won't hurt. For the 10th time in a row, Aliko Dangote was named the richest man in Africa in 2021 with an estimated net worth of $11.8 billion. Now this business empire he began to build more than 3 decades ago, Dangote Group, is one of the largest private sector employers in Nigeria, as well as the most valuable conglomerate in West Africa. Okay, now let me tell you his story. At the age of 21, Dangote borrowed $3,000 from his uncle to import and sell agricultural commodities in Nigeria, his native country. His business venture quickly became a success, and as a result, he managed to repay the entire loan within 3 months of starting operations. Ultimately, Dangote was able to turn a local commodities trading business into a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Unlike many wealthy Nigerians who made their fortune in oil, Dangote initially chose to go down a different path. But he has since entered the oil and gas industry. In an effort to put some of his cash reserves to work, Dangote is working on a massive oil refinery in Lagos, which is projected to start operations in the late 2021. As it currently is, the Dangote Group is the biggest group listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, with market capitalization of its 4 listed subsidiaries accounting for 43% of total stock. The group has expanded rapidly over the period 2007 to 2017 from its core business in cement, becoming a key player in the African cement business and diversifying within the Nigerian manufacturing sector. Let's focus on the monopoly and how it is affecting the Nigerian economy and by extension, the African continent. Well, you see, Nigeria knows a thing or two about monopolies and oligarchs concerning the market. I mean, the British colonists like Lord Lugard, who held the country together, got the ball rolling with the Royal Niger Company at the end of the 19th century. They set the stage for exploitative trading, a habit yet to be flushed out of the system. And barely 5 years after independence, the 1966 coup set the groundwork for a series of political military elites who dominated the country. Yakubu Gowon, Olusegun Obasanjo, Muhammadu Buhari, Ibrahim Babangida, Sani Abacha, and the likes. Nigeria's weak institutions mean that the state cedes control of the economy to vested interests, and it struggles to maintain security. There are 2 major cement producers in Nigeria: Dangote Cement, largely owned by Aliko Dangote, and BUA Group, owned by Abdul Samad Rabiu. Both of them are business moguls from Kano State, one from the Ishaku Rabiu family and the other Martani related to the Dandata family. However, Dangote controls 65% of the market for cement in Nigeria. It also has 41% of Cameroon and 13% of Ghana. Aliko Dangote benefits as an entrenched member of the oligarchy since early in the 80s. He was groomed by the Dandata family in the late 70s at Wapa, Kano, and early in his business career was a protege of the Dandatas. He has therefore been lucratively located in the business flank of the oligarchy and never directly competes to hold political power. He was self-effacing early on though, offering no threats to politicians, and so was ignored in the contest for political power in Nigeria. But Aliko Dangote, being a keen-eyed businessman and knowing that his business success is tied inexorably to building the right political alliances, has immersed himself so deep in the power dynamics and has over the decades gathered enormous power and influence that no one can ignore him anymore in the political power calculations in Nigeria. The dizzying reality is that the rise and rise of Dangote is marching on with a tsunamic intensity, swallowing everything standing along its path and forcing him into global reckoning. His seemingly inexorable ascent has sent the chills up the spines of competitors. His adroitness in taming the African government monkey is legendary, you must say. Understanding the rapacious greed and irrational appetite for inordinate self-gratification of power mongers in Africa, he has devised a trick that seems to work magic. He doesn't negotiate with any government politburo and doesn't partner with them. He simply feeds their greed and kicks them out of the way you feed a monkey banana. Perhaps he has learned from experience. He also plays the demeanor strategy because he understands the power of increasing returns to scale, scope, and size. He is a recipient of the Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic. But in a few years' time, Dangote would certainly become, unlike Idi Amin, who comically self-titled himself the conqueror of the British Empire, a true conqueror of the Order of the Federal Republic. Welcome to Dangote Republic. For many decades, Dangote held the exclusive authority to import sugar, salt, rice, and many other commodities into the starving Nigerian market. It was foolhardy for any merchant ship with these imports to enter the Nigerian waters or to try to berth at the Nigerian ports. Many businessmen were destroyed by officialdom who tried to compete with Dangote in his chosen areas of business. Dangote himself does not believe that he is subject to or should obey laws that negatively affect his dominance. WikiLeaks in 2013 referred to his extreme predatory tactics as a beggar thy countryman business strategy, whereby he exploits his government connections to swing the terrain to his advantage and to the detriment of the competition. Whether this depiction is real or imagined, the fact remains that Dangote's supremacy is inevitable, given his ambitions, the leverage his rapidly expanding business empire lends him, and of course, the increasing returns to scale inherent in the sectors in which he is invested, owing to huge entry barriers. Given where he is currently positioned, the only way possible is that of absolute monopoly. Some analysts estimate that Dangote Group controls more than half of Nigeria's commodity market. Well, the group's stranglehold is on cement, flour, pasta, salt, and sugar markets. The 650,000 BDP refinery in Ibeju-Lekki, with its accompanying petrochemical plant, fertilizer plant, and a subsea pipeline project, will cement his dominance of the oil and gas market as well. Just the other day, the president of the African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, said that Dangote may become the largest exporter of rice in the world by 2021. Dangote Cement is already the biggest quoted company in West Africa and the only Nigerian company on Forbes Global 2000 companies. Its stock is almost half of the value of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Now, given that Dangote has averaged a growth rate of over 20% in the past few years, if we use the rule of 70, which states that a variable growing at X rates would double every 70 divided by X years, this means that Dangote's stock value may double in less than 4 years. In other words, his stock is set to eclipse the Nigerian Stock Exchange 4 years from now. Okay, it is very important to add that Dangote's kind of monopoly is largely the product of both government failure and market failure. The inability of government to provide basic needs for the populace creates the opportunity for businesses like Dangote to fill the gap. Also, government's monumental ineptitude leaves gaps that he exploits. Market failure can result from monopoly, as is well known. Dangote has thrived not through holding any patent on scientific discoveries or creating new products, not through creating or improving processes, not through new or improved technologies, but through protected trading environment created and sustained for his ascendancy. You must know that Aliko Dangote himself has never been shy of making his grandiose intentions clear. He did say, "The ultimate goal of Dangote Group is to dominate every niche in which it operates. In order to achieve this goal, we acquired over 3,000 new trucks, developed a strong distribution network, and increased production capacity. Our strategy is to sell our products faster than our competitors and at uniform price." There is no sugarcoating it. Dangote is the poster child of patrimonial monopoly capitalism in Nigeria. Whether you favor or oppose a capitalist trajectory for Nigeria and Africa, patronage capitalism should offend your sensibilities. It is morally, economically, and legally wrong. It distorts Nigeria's financial and economic terrain. More devastatingly, it amounts to a huge transfer of public wealth to favored businessmen. It is an insidious form of corruption. I'm sure you are not aware, but Dangote gets unfettered, unguaranteed access to dollars, any amount he claims he needs to finance the importation of industrial inputs or the expansion of his operations at the official exchange rates from the Nigerian Central Bank. The Nigerian people basically sell him their oil revenue dollars at the heavily subsidized rate of 199 naira, taking an instant loss of at least 100 naira for every dollar they sell to him. It is undeserved instant profit at the expense of Nigeria. To compound this skewed deal, other businessmen with equally legitimate business needs do not enjoy this guaranteed forex access. Okay, listen to this. During the Obasanjo administration, the former president granted a series of import duty waivers and subsidies to the businessman as the latter expanded his investment repertoire into cement production. Now, under Obasanjo, Dangote's quest to buy up poorly performing competitors such as Benue Cement was made easy by a friendly government peopled by allies in power. The businessman's desire to establish a virtual monopoly in the cement sector became a reality under that government. His competitors, such as Ibeto Cement, which lacked access to power, languished and hibernated under the weight of the competitive edge granted Dangote by subsidies, waivers, and cheap acquisitions facilitated by his friends in government. Be sure to know that Dangote lubricated his privileged access to power by donating lavishly to the campaign funds of the then ruling party, the PDP. By doing so, he secured and expanded his access to concessions and breaks that his competitors and business peers could only dream of. He remained in government's favor for 3 consecutive PDP administrations, and he continues to enjoy special access to taxpayers subsidized forex to the detriment of other businessmen and to the peril of Nigeria. Apart from distorting the market, stacking the playing field in Dangote's favor, these governments' favor reduce competition, and competition is critical to efficiency, innovation, and consumer-friendly product pricing. The problem is, Dangote's government's privileges in the cement sector were not a reward for being a risk-taking pioneer. Nigeria already had a fairly vibrant cement sector before Dangote swooped in and secured a virtual monopoly in a short time, aided by government protection and patronage. But the government's indirect investment in Dangote's cement monopoly left his competitors reeling and enabled him to control supply and thus pricing, thereby hurting consumers. While Dangote's refinery project qualifies as a strategic investment critical to our economic recovery and growth, and will thus be a good candidate for certain government breaks, Nigerians are yet to be told the terms, if any, or extent of the government's commitment to Dangote in exchange for setting up a refinery that would transform the downstream sector of the Nigerian oil industry. With Dangote's dominance of critical sectors of our economy, it is just a matter of time before every aspect of the economy comes under its looming shadow. The implications of such a colossal monopolistic economic structure for a developing economy with weak regulatory infrastructure as well as weak institutions will challenge students of political economy. One thing is certain, however, Dangote's emergence would reshape the contours of the economic system built on competitive markets in the developing world. However, it is pertinent to know that monopoly has never been an efficient economic structure for allocating resources. Since we are a nation ruled by men, not by laws, Aliko Dangote has thrived in Nigeria by making himself an exception to every rule and every law. He lives and does his business above every financial and monetary regulation imposed by any government in Nigeria. Aliko Dangote does not believe in business competition and thrives by using the federal government power and policies to destroy every possible competitor. He has always been supported by northern-controlled governments in this effort. Okay folks, that will be where we wrap it up this time. What do you make out of the monopolizing of Africa by the acclaimed richest man in the continent? Share with us in the comment section. If you are seeing our video for the first time, do well to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you get notified whenever a new video is released. And until next time, remain a Galactical.